Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC and another edition of TNFNU. Before I get started with what I want to talk to you guys about today, I just wanted to shoot out my community page on the YouTube channel. So if you go to my YouTube channel and go to the community section, I have a poll up just for you guys to just let me know what you want to see more of. Do you want to see more of the project builds? Maybe doing some of the time-lapse stuff? Do you want to see more production? Or do you just want me to just keep doing what I'm doing, just leave it alone? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts because your comments and things that you guys share has been amazing and it's really good feedback, and I just want to grow the channel. I'm also trying to grow the channel. I'm just about 450 some odd subscribers, and I'm trying to get to 500 at least. And I've got some other things that maybe I want to talk to you about at the end, but you guys, you can give me your comments on that. But please go check that out. I really want to get some feedback on you, from you, on you. Why would I say that? So from you. And then also, again, if you would like to see me review or you want to send me something that you think I might like, reach out, let me know. I would love to get some new things in the channel. But, you know, right now, there aren't that many votes. And right now, unanimously, pretty much, it's you want to see more of the project updates and kind of the, I guess, the building of the knives that I do, which I'm more than happy to share. I like to do it. I just haven't been able to get out in the shop and videotape as much this week as I normally would like to, but I'll share some of that in a minute. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I've been hearing a lot lately, and it's kind of confusing to me. And, you know, you guys can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but and I'll be the first one to admit that I don't have a ton of experience with everything that I'm going to talk about, but we'll get into it. Okay. So one of the things that I've heard people say is that cutting with certain steels is better than others. So like if I cut with M390, it's better than cutting with 14C, or cutting with Magnet Cut is so much better than D2 or anything else. And it's confusing to me because there's so many different things to take into consideration when you're using the knife that you're using. Steel is one of them. But I have never had a knife in my hand where I was like, okay, this D2 blade cuts so much better than this 14C28N blade, or, you know, this M390 is so much better than S35VN, or I don't know. It's just things cut, and when you're cutting, it feels good because you have a nice sharp edge and you're sliding through whatever you're trying to cut, the packages, cardboard, whatever. But I don't think I've ever said, well, it's because of the steel. There's so many other things that are taken into consideration. You need to take into consideration the thickness of your bevels, your angle at which your edge is sharpened at. Is it a 20-degree angle? Is it a 26-degree angle? Is it a 17-degree angle? The finer the edge, yeah, the better you're probably going to be able to cut certain things, but it might not have the toughness because heat treat comes into taking effect. Your HRC takes into effect. The kind of grind that you have, if you have a full grind on a blade, which means the bevel goes from the belly of the blade all the way up to the spine, you might have a thinner angle on the cutting edge of the blade, where something, I'm trying to think of something I have here on the table in front of me, like my naked column, which we're going to talk about a little bit, that's really thick there at the edge. So no, it's not going to be really slicey. It'll cut, especially this one, which is why it's mine. But if you have something like a Scandi grind, which doesn't come up very high from the edge, if you're using a thicker steel, then that might affect your cutting edge. So there's so many different factors that come into play when you're cutting. For me to say, well, I would rather cut with this steel over this steel seems a little weird to me. But like I said, I'm ignorant because I haven't cut with every different type of steel, and I'm not breaking down cardboard every single day. Or, I mean, the most that I'll do right now is opening some packages, slicing some paper, whatever. So I don't know. So what do you guys think? I've heard the comments, and I don't know how to react to that because it just seems a little odd that you cut so many different things that the type of steel that it is will make that big of a difference when you're cutting something. Because I think there's so many other things that could possibly take into effect with that people don't think about, that play into that, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense with that. I don't have a lot of examples in front of me, so I didn't really think that through. Because quite honestly, guys, I just kind of sit down and I talk. I write down in the thing, and none of this is scripted. This is all off the top of my head. I just kind of go. And you guys have to suffer through it. But I really do appreciate you watching. And if you made it this far, thank you. So tell me your thoughts. What do you think of the thought that cutting with one steel over another steel makes your cutting experience better, or you just would rather use this steel because it cuts better? I don't know. Because, I mean, a blade that cuts. If it cuts smoothly, great. If it's hanging up on the edge, well, it could be all these other factors that come into play besides, what kind of steel it is. So it could be your sharpness, your HRC, your angle of the bevels, your angle of the blade. There's so many different things. The tempering. So I don't know how much steel really comes involved. I think steel comes with the hardness and toughness over the life of that blade. But to take a brand new blade with this steel versus another type of steel and say, well, this one just cuts better because of the steel that it is, I don't know, because it's the design. There's so many different other factors that come into play that if you're making the statement that this steel is better to cut with than this steel, I would just like somebody to explain it to me if that's true, because I haven't experienced it. But like I said, I'll be the first to admit when I'm ignorant on a subject. And ignorant is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means you haven't been educated properly on what those things are. And that's perfectly fine, and I can accept that. But like I said, I don't spend my day cutting everything all day long with all these different types of steels, and there's a lot of steels that I haven't experienced, like Magna Cut. I don't have anything with Magna Cut. I've never cut with Magna Cut. That could be the best thing in the world, but I don't know. Or LMAX, or M4, or any of these other things. These premium steels, Damasteel. I'll probably never have something with Damasteel, but it could be an option one day. But is it better to cut with that than AEB-L or 80 CRV2 or D2? 1095? I don't know. You tell me. What are your thoughts? Does the steel really matter, or am I making sense with there's so many other factors that come into play? I think there are too many factors to come into play when you talk about that. So, sorry, my throat's been bothering me. So guys, water. It's great. Water. So, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Tell me what you think. Updates. So, the Yocto and the Crow are still at heat treating. Sorry, guys. As soon as I get those back, I'll give you updates on where those guys are at. They should be finishing up today or tomorrow, so I should be getting them sometime next week. and I keep looking forward to finishing those up. In the meantime, I have started 2 more because why not? I'm sitting here, I had nothing to do. So I decided to start 2 more, and I finally got to start the ones that I've been wanting to. So this is the Bloom XL. So I have the pedal and the Bloom. The Bloom is an EDC model, and this is the larger version of that. So I have my Bloom, which I have shared. That's a Bloom. A nice drop point, EDC sized, fixed blade, 3 fingers. Got the lanyard. I've rounded everything off on this. So, but then you could take that and make it just 1 step bigger. And it's just a little bit bigger. You get 4 fingers on the handle very comfortably. And you got a little bit bigger blade. I haven't even measured this. Let's see. All right, so overall, we're sitting at about 7.5 overall. And then the blade is roughly just a shy under 3 inches. So a little over 3.25, but just under 3 inches. So 3 7/8 probably. So that's not a bad blade size, or 2 7/8. So, but a little bit bigger, full big, and this are full big. Who am I talking to? Full big. So that's a full handle, and it's right at the borderline of an EDC. I think anything bigger than this really isn't going to be comfortable to carry every day, but it's right at that border. So I decided to do this. So far, I shaped it pretty good. It's just a blank. So next I got to drill the holes, and then it's off to bevels and everything else. And then I've also started everybody's fan favorite, the naked column. It's a 1/4 inch thick ADC RV2. And I started another one. This one is spoken for already. So fantastic. So I just have to drill the holes and get that one going. So I'm going to be working on these 2 while I get going. Just so you know, that is a naked column. So that will end up looking like this. I round everything off, make it nice and smooth. No hot spots. My typical little dip in the blade right there where your thumb goes makes it nice and comfortable to make any cuts. So naked column and the Bloom XL are in the works. And then when I get the Yocto and the Crow back, I'll finish those up. The Yocto has some cool things coming. I got an update from my buddy Tim over in Germany, and he has got a bunch of things in the works for that. And I'm excited about sharing all of that with you, but I will do that once it comes in. What I have for sale. So you guys have been amazing because I am almost completely sold out. The bud is gone. The 2 thorns are gone. And the only thing I have left, surprisingly enough, is the rock hopper. Somehow, this blade is still available. As seen on Knives Fast, KC had it. KC had a lot of nice things to say about my work and about this blade. And I am still very surprised that it is still in my possession and it hasn't been sold. It is on Etsy, so check out my Etsy page. I did try to fix the rattle. It still rattles a little bit, but it's much tighter now. It's definitely not going to fall out. You got to put a little effort to open it, but excellent blade. This is the Rock Hopper AEB-L, stainless steel, blue G10, rounded off. And yeah, great blade. I'm kind of really surprised that it's still here, but please check it out. $165, and then it's all yours. I also just got a shipment in. If you follow me on Instagram at AriesEDC, you see that I posted, I got some steel. So I got another bar of ADCRV2 that I have some plans with. I got another bar of AEB, which I have plans for. And because you guys have kind of been asking for it, I got another big bar of 1/4" ADCRV2 that is, 3 feet long. So I used the 1/4" thick ADCRV2 for the naked columns and the gargoyle, and possibly a new model that's coming out that I've been working on with somebody. So I'll be making plenty of naked columns coming up. So I know I have 3 or 4 people who've asked for them, and I'm working on them, and I'm getting them out one at a time. I'm going to share this real quick with you guys. I just got this handle material in for one of my projects coming up, and that's all you're going to get. That person knows who they are, and I did get some in, and I'm going to get that project started for you. I got the steel and I got the materials. I just have to finish these 2, and I have to finish the 2 that are coming back. Now this one is AEB, so this is going to be a stainless model, so this one's got to get sent out for heat treating as well. But this one will be heat treated myself, so I'll be able to finish that one up here at the shop. So anyway, those are the things that I have going on. Those are the updates, and those are my thoughts and feelings. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think of the steels, and check out the community page. One more thing before I go. I've been having this discussion with my wife about growing the channel and committing more time to this. And she's like, are you sure you could do this? You know, if you grow more channel and you want to become monetized and everything else, you're going to have to put a lot of time in with your job and with everything. I don't know if you'll be able to do it. And at one point I agree. And in one point I should just keep doing what I'm doing and stop trying to work so hard at it. And you guys have been very amazing in the community. And then something came up where I was like, well, maybe I can start a Patreon page, but I don't really know how that works, because I feel like I'm giving a lot of myself on YouTube and Instagram, and then to be on Patreon, I just don't know. And then I feel weird asking people for money just for you to look at my face in a live stream or sharing work that I do when I do it here. And I guess I could do Patreon, where I can release these videos first on Patreon, so you see them there first, and then do it here on YouTube. Or maybe I can have you guys on Patreon like tell me kind of what model you want me to make next, and what the handle materials should look like, and what pins and blah blah blah. Let you guys like do a build, or tell me what you'd like to see, and then I do it. Maybe that could be fun for every time. What I want to do moving forward is work on customer knives, people that have reached out and have asked for something, and then doing one that I want to do, because this is still a hobby. It's still something that I do for fun. And if I just do knives that I know somebody wants, and they want a particular color and blah blah blah, I don't mind. I love doing it. It's challenging for me. But sometimes I just got to do something for myself, something that I want to do, because I find it fun. And that's why I came up with like this. This was something where I was like, what if I did the bloom but made it bigger, because that chunk of steel was exactly this long, and if I made a rock copper, I would have lost a couple inches of steel that would have just gone to the garbage, really, because it really wasn't big enough to do anything. But, you know, I would have lost about, 2 inches of steel there. But, you know. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Patreon, a good idea, bad idea? I don't feel like I like taking people's money unless I'm giving you something for it. But you all have been very supportive of everything that I do. And I want to just thank you again. I do it every week, but if it wasn't for you guys, giving me feedback, then I wouldn't be pushing myself to try to create these videos every week. So anyway, guys, that's what I have. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is yours.